Hello everyone, and welcome back to Napoleon Total War as the British, where previously we did finally completely wipe out the French Empire and therefore Napoleon, who is now disappeared completely from the map, which is very strange to say this, but that is only the end of the middle part of the game. We're moving into the end now with the final end goal of taking our last two very specific victory regions, which are the Balearic Isles in Parma and, of course, Hanover. So the Balearic Isles owned by Spain. As a refresher, there are two full stacks in this area. That's not going to be particularly easy because we don't have room to maneuver there. If we do declare war on Spain, we can land and then they will attack us straight away. So we're going to need to go there with a couple armies. Not exactly the most difficult if we want to just go in all hammer mode and just create a meat grinder, which is often the case. But we also want to go for, of course, Hanover, and that's held by Prussia. If we look at the prestige ratings, we have a fair military prestige of 572. Austria close second with 559, and Prussia actually tailing on third with fair disparity at 380. Very, very interesting that's actually, because looking at Prussia, they do own a large portion of the map, as they usually tend to do. We have seen recently a good few Prussian armies. We see half an army in Brussels over here, and that is Friedrich Wilhelm. Pretty damn decent general there, but it does have some Prussian Jägersgefährt, which are, of course, heavy cavalry. They're very similar to our dragoons, except they don't get the dismount option. They also got a lot of cannons over there, some 6-pounder horse. We see some Black Brunswickers, which we also get use of. They also have a bit of an army, which we are tailing in Marseille, but even more interesting, they have a full stack embarked on a pretty hefty navy over here. It's largely frigates, but they do have some good experience on some of their ships, as we can see here. Quite a good number of them, in fact some trade ships as well. But we're not going to go to war with Prussia straight away. Currently we are allied with them. We're allied with the Austrian Empire, Sicily, Naples, the Russian Empire, and of course Prussia themselves. If we look at Prussia, we can see where the difficulty is going to lie, though. They are also allied with Austria, Sweden, Kingdom of Saxony, Russia once again, Mecklenburg and Oldenburg, which do border the desired Hanover. So that's going to cause lots of problems. We have to assume that Mecklenburg and Oldenburg will certainly join the war. We can, if we want, try and pay Austria and Russia to cancel their alliance with Prussia, which would be the strategically sound decision. But we have a monstrous income of 31,000 coming in each turn, and that has actually only increased since we have created half of an expensive army over here. We are 2 turns away from making that a completely full stack there. We don't need the militia here anymore, do we? We might keep that in case we get raided. We'll bring this spy over as well while we think about it. But what we'll do this episode is create this army, certainly create another army, just put ourselves into positions to defend against. What happened to that agent? There we go. We'll put ourselves into a position to actually defend and attack certain points of Prussia and move our spy just, I think, towards Dresden and such, so we can have a look through there because we've got no sight in that region. And we'll put ourselves in a comfortable place and we'll see how we feel about starting the second all-out European war. Because Austria is also a very major power, which doesn't usually happen. Usually it gets absorbed by the French very easily, but of course we've been putting a lot of pressure on. So that's what they've been dealing with, allowing Austria to grow into the Italian provinces and also to the Balkans over here. You can see they've pretty much dealt with the Ottoman Empire, who now only has the Greek regions around Athens and Patras over here. So that's very interesting indeed. We might want to start an all-out European war just for the fun of it. Certainly not strategically sound whatsoever, but also very fun. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do the preparation off of screen so we can jump straight to its day. Otherwise, it's a lot of boring watching for you guys. So, a good amount of turns have passed, so I've not counted them, but it's certainly enough to make sure we are ready to take on Prussia. We have, of course, two armies over here, led by Alexander Abercrombie and, of course, Michael Stoll, two very long-standing gentlemen here. We've not changed out the artillery for Abercrombie because I like the mobility of horse artillery, but we have changed out the lost cannons over here to standard 5-inch howitzers. We do only get limited to 4 experimental howitzers. So we have used up all of that in this army over here, our new model elite hard-hitting army, or at least you'd hope. And that army is going to strike this army over here. It could even be this one, led by Friedrich Ludwig. Let's bring our spy from Munich over here to truly spy on... Actually, no, let's see if we can sabotage Ludwig. 20%, that is absolutely terrible. But we need experience on these spies. Yeah, that's 20% as well. Let's quickly infiltrate over here, because we have two lovely generals in here. We have Bülow and Blücher over here, as well as a massively chevroned army themselves, consisting largely of standard musketeers, which can't generally stand up against our standard foots, but they do have a lot of lancers and cannons to worry about as well, so the cavalry advantage definitely on their side there. But it's a massive blow that'll be if we can wipe out that army very easily, quickly. If we try and sabotage this, we probably get executed, but I'm not too worried. Oh, it's successful. All right, I'll take that. Lovely. Sad we couldn't get some experience or extra traits for our spy there, but that'll certainly be useful. Let's just take the initiative on this army there. It should mean it doesn't get reinforced. So once again, a lot of musketeers making the bulk of the army, but in some 6-pounders. We do have Prussian Death's Heads live hussars, which are actually fairly nasty. Look at that charge bonus of 18. Dirty. Do have a minor raiding unit over here. That should only be a nuisance. And we do see that they have a good amount of forces, of course, protecting Berlin. And actually very well built up is Berlin. We can see they're creating an ordnance board, the Humboldt-Universität and the Siegersäule, which is going to give them a lot of prestige and such. The Siegersäule reduces the recruitment cost of infantry there. We have gone over to Denmark as well to create a very basic defensive army. This army will not be pushing unless, of course, we want to really destroy Mecklenburg very quickly. We do have another army over here, which we have just created. This is a fairly decent army, again, consisting largely of line infantry, no light infantry, or just 2 units of light infantry, and fairly lacking on the cavalry as well. This is once again to help the defence of Copenhagen. We're quite likely going to get raided down in Hamburg over here, but I don't want to risk the opportunity for the enemy to land over into Copenhagen with both armies. This is going to be a bit of a head scratch for this one, because I don't want them to take Copenhagen instantly, but they could just use both armies to walk over in this direction. We should have warning for that. Shouldn't, yeah, we can see they don't have the movement to make it in this direction. So I don't mind getting raided initially, just to see how the enemy moves, because that will force them to isolate their 2 armies. And then they get backed up, of course, by the armies in Berlin. And, of course, in Oldenburg as well. And Karls of Mecklenburg is also here as well. So that's going to be a region we need to source out fairly quickly. We need to steamroll through Brussels with one of these armies and move through to Cleves very quickly as well. I've taken the decision to use diplomacy to start with to try and break up people's alliances rather than going for a European war to begin with. We can go for that later on. Where's breaking alliances? Break alliance with Prussia, please. We'll pay them quite a bit. We do have 11 113,000 in the bank, which is absolutely huge. So we can pay them a fair bit. So we'll go for 10,000 there. And that's excellent. We'll do the same with Russia. We'll go to break alliance with Prussia, please. We could ask Mecklenburg to break their alliance. Would not be a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all, actually, because that would really help us. But it's also an area I'd like to take on anyway at some point. We could. There's always a chance that they'll ally themselves once again and declare war on us later on. That's a very interesting decision there. I think we'll ask them to cease their alliance at the moment. Where's Mecklenburg? Interestingly, I don't know if you've noticed, the eagle-eyed among you, the Ottoman Empire has made a reappearance, and so has the new nation of the Kingdom of Greece. Austria has taken those regions and they've successfully rebelled against Austria, which is absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We'll offer them a fair bit, not so much as the others. Did they? Yeah, okay, they've broken their alliance. Excellent stuff. So the reason for this is because our upkeep is still, or our income is 33,000, and our trade income pretty much matches that. So you can see that we're pretty much gaining our profits purely from trade, and I don't want that to hurt us too much. We'll see what it looks like once we do declare war on Prussia, which will be now. So we're turn 71, just checked. It's quite a way into the campaign, but we do still have until 1812, I believe it is, which is a good few years. Let's declare war. And do we call our allies to help? We'll see. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll see what happens. So they do still have their alliances with Saxony, Sweden, and the Duchy of Oldenburg, but they're not too much of a bother. And Austria is going to join us. That is very interesting. That's very, very interesting indeed. We are not going to be at war with Sweden, but Saxony, that's absolutely fine. Duchy of Oldenburg, not too much of a bother. They weren't so much a threat as Mecklenburg. They only have this one region with one stack. I'd imagine that's standard line infantry. Yeah, a few of those, and some cavalry pieces there. Not a problem. So we're going to move over to Hamburg with this army. We are going to use our new model army to take on this massive army led by Gebhard von Blücher and Friedrich Wilhelm von Bülow. Very, very nasty fight this will be. We'll take out our spy in case, because from my memory, if you fight an army holding one of your spies and you win, that spy dies, which is very strange. Ah, okay, that is going to get reinforced. Alright. Okay, well, we'll have to do this the other way around then. I have to do this the other way around and take on this army first. Let's bring out our agents, please. There we go, that was quick. Alright, so we'll do it in detail. Do it a little more strategically. So, Friedrich Ludwig, very, very experienced general. See the amount of stars there. Actually, yeah, more experienced than our John Moore, by the looks of things. Maybe one more. Not a problem. His army doesn't stand up to us, so wish us luck. So, we have a River Vassel on our hands. Not too sure how I feel about River Vassels, but we're going to go for it. Let's press start. We're going to try and control the ford area with 2 units of light infantry. They're going to be backed up by 2 units of standard line, simply to brace for any possible cavalry charges and create squares there. Let's do that. Going to move up our cannons if we find them. Right on top of them. Move them up a little bit here to get range onto the enemy and control the bridge on this side. You always get a bridge and a ford on River Vassels. They're going to control that with 1 unit of light foot and 2 units of Royal Fusiliers. Once again to create blockage and take any cavalry charges. And we're going to push in with 1 unit of King's German to just plug that gap a little, see if the enemy does want to cross. The rest of our units are going to be a heavy reserve unit, and if the enemy plays defensively, what we'll do is cross over in very, very slow terms with our own units there. We'll push on with our general there to back up our morale. Keep our cavalry on the flanks over here because they're not going to be needed, I don't think, for quite some time. And just push in to help over here so we have some close reinforcements with a unit of Royal Fusiliers, King's German and Standard Line Infantry. You can see the enemy is trying to push in with some cavalry already. So we are going to have to double time with this. Let's see how our cannons are doing. Yeah, they're almost in position. So the enemy is pushing for this bridge by the looks of things. Or is it? They really can't cross here, so I don't know why they're going very central. Do promise you they can't cross unless it's at the ford or at the bridge. So the Death's Heads are coming, and that is a horrible sight. Let's pause it with that unit. Push up here so that we can get some shots. Was just scared that the cavalry could in fact push on there before we could do anything. So we're ready to, I think, actually challenge that position now. A bit safer. They were tempting us over here. I think we certainly need to double time this because these are some shots we're missing out on. In fact, we should actually be in range here. So let's... Oh, we're pretty much in position. Just pause. We need these units over here right now, and that actually, no, we do need to run away. We do need to run away. Please double time. Yeah, the morale's not great. What are you doing? Let's square up, as it looks like they want to come for us here. Yeah, the morale's recovering, not a problem. Great stuff, taking that charge. What we can do is fire on their flanks with our standard foot. That'd be brilliant. Nothing's really happening at the bridge, and they're actually coming over to the ford by the looks of things. Yeah, that's great stuff. Force them to rouse off. Did take a handful of losses, 7 men down on our side. Absolutely fine. We're getting shots off over here? We certainly are. Okay, brilliant. Let's control this a little better then and bring our light fuss over once again. I think we'll keep the square here and we'll just push up. Oh, I don't need to push up because we do get some good shots as they cross over here. We are in range with our standard foot. Brilliant. Excellent stuff. Great way to head off the enemy cavalry. So we're going to want to bring over 1 or 2 units then of this reserve over here. And they're coming in with another unit of cavalry. Some more hussars. Not the Death's Heads. And we should be guessing. Good volley over here. Doesn't look like we're getting any friendly fire, which is always a concern. But they are making contact now. Straight into the square. Excellent. This should be some great experience for this unit of standard foot over here. And I think I see an opportunity for our cavalry to cross the bridge, actually. So what we'll do is we'll select them, pop on over as that enemy unit retreats, and just position our cavalry behind our cannons, because they have some lancers which cannot stand up to a prolonged melee engagement, just some standard musketeers over here, and their general was isolated. But if we can cause some havoc over there, that would be brilliant. We are still getting shots with our light foot over onto the enemy, picking them off, as you should do. Performing their role amazingly there. You can see they're losing some good men over here. They can't range us, I don't think, from there. At least they're not trying to. Is this unit getting shots off? That's shooting the cavalry, that's fine. I think what we do is we come over here, create some waypoints, and actually position ourselves over here. This is a hill with some obstructions in the rocks here. What can we do over here? I think we position over here. That'd be great. Yeah. Yeah, let's just give that more directly. Getting our cannons right into the centre there, which is also helping. I think if we just stay defensive for now, make a clearing onto the bridge, that'd be brilliant. Looks like they're coming with some lancers there. And they're deciding what to do. Well, I think now's the time we take or make a push towards the enemy over the bridge. So we did take a small charge from some lancers, lost 10 men, did not spot that in time, so we didn't manage to make a square. That's absolutely fine. Let's rush on piecemeal then, I think, to begin with. So don't want to lose too many people. Let's do that with some Royal Fusiliers and some King's German. Lovely stuff. We'll just walk on over there, and then we'll move in with some cavalry as well to back them up. So we'll just move a little closer there. Cannons doing some excellent work against the central line over here, just thinning their numbers here and there. What we can do is barrage and go for this unit. Hopefully we can get some counter battery on. We have destroyed a few of their cannons already. And the ford is open as well, so I think we're going to stop squaring here. Move in all three of these units here while we can. Move that over here, and that'd be great. So we might want to move some reserves as well over. So we'll just move them for the minute. So it'll take some time to catch up, so we do have time to readjust our formation. Looks like we've got some excellent shot over here, completely wiping out all cannons in this unit over here. So we'll redirect our cannon fire once again. I think just this massive blob of infantry, really, is all you need. We are starting to get onto this bridge, taking our time. You know, the enemy's tired across the board, so I think we can actually afford to double time this at the risk of making ourselves tired. That's done something strange with our formation there. Let's reissue the order, I think. Struggling a lot there. There we go. I don't know why they wanted to go over here, but that's absolutely fine. Looks like the Death's Heads are going to try and engage over here, but we're dealing with them with our light infantry by the looks of things. Their morale's terrible. They've been picked apart down to 34 men out of 88. So what we should do is just stop here. Should probably square, but I think that's such a thick line there that we will take a very limp cavalry charge there. We'll move through with this unit. It's absolutely not a problem. Yeah, their terrible morale does mean that the Death's Heads do finally shatter. Instantly down to 12 men, even less now. So yeah, square there wouldn't have made much difference. That's absolutely fine. Let's move over here. Yeah, we can see our massive volleys of cannon fire really wrecking the enemy's formation, but they are moving now with some musketeers. It looks like 4 units of musketeers definitely want to try and engage us here. We have crossed the bridge with 1 unit of Royal Fusiliers. Let's double time this, because we do need to get into formation as quickly as possible now. Do that with the King's German. 2 units won't be able to stand against this, so we need some more units here. I think we'll charge on over to the flank here with some cavalry, and we can help over here for now. Double time, please, with some more Royal Fusiliers, and we can split up the enemy now as we're doing. You can see they're really not too sure what to do with the rest of their units here, actually. Yeah, there's units with cannons, not too sure either. Let's see if we can get some fire onto these musketeers. In fact, that is where we're focusing already. Let's get another barrage off. We need some more firepower out. So even looking at routing off this unit here, being under really sustained cannon fire, it looks like we're ready to start firing out over here. Once the enemy comes into range, let's see how that looks. Yeah, they're just about in range, which is brilliant. They're also very tired, so this should be a very, very quick rout if we do get some concentrated fire over onto the enemy there. And we're just about ranging them. Here we go. There There we go. There we go. The morale thought about recovering there. There's a lot of losses already with the 2 units of ours firing onto that single unit of musketeers. Excellent. A good cavalry flank will absolutely wipe them out. So we want to get over here with this unit for now. Create a waypoint for them over here and then around here. Don't have the range with our lights, do we, over here, which is a shame. Just push them up a little more. We might just be able to get a couple of shots there. Looks like we're taking actually some shots over here, so we'll pull back. And we can start curling round. We might want to take the farmhouse actually, that might be an idea with the standard unit of foot here. That won't be able to fill us up properly. Got too many men there. That's okay. Gives them some cover. How we're doing over here. Let's move our cavalry to the flank. Double time this, please. Look at the balance of power. Brilliant balance of power for us. Very much liking that indeed. Huge shots from our cannons into this unit of musketeers. Absolutely brilliant. Making some great sustained fire over here. Not losing many men at all, are we? So now is the time to actually start charging into the enemy. We will make 1 unit of diamond formation, come around this area to get more succinctly into their flank. And that, well, they call out the cavalry charge but cannot react to it. It's really going to hurt them. It's taking away that firepower from our men as well. Excellent. And we're also firing into their flanks. We have taken the building. How's that looking? So we've taken it. Yeah, it's just because we've got far too many men there. It might have not have been the best of calls, but it does gain that ground for us. Double time that. Push up here. Right into the enemy's face, just to help our morale out there. Would be great. Not too worried about the thick lines here. Do have the morale and accuracy to sustain this fight. Now we're firing out of the windows here. We certainly are. Not the greatest amount of firepower. This should be absolutely brilliant. Once we do decide to get some range, let's sort out our formation. Look at that. Look at that. Are they going for the melee engagement there? I think they are. No? Alright, just a point blank fire then. Excellent. Excellent stuff. That's what you love to see. That's what you absolutely love to see. Let's check our cavalry over here because we'll start losing them too quickly otherwise. That looks like that might be what's going on. So we can snipe their general now. Cersei go to snipe their general. Let's maneuver over here. Bring up the UI once again. That'd be useful. We'll see how many men we've lost over here. Not quite. We've got 19 men lost in that cavalry unit. They can come back to actually not double timing. Just means they're taking more shots. Don't like that at all. Let's come over with this unit. We can't snipe their general. We'll take this unit of musketeers then as they're manoeuvring. And yeah, push up with this unit. Big charge into the enemy's flank. Brilliant. Now with Diamond you should be able to pull through if you do get a decent charge. We did get a decent charge. Which means we can support this group over here. As is the job of light cavalry. We do have some reserves firing, but not the greatest. So we'll move over here onto the hill. I think actually we'll abandon the building here because it's not doing much for us. Just not doing much. We need to realign here as well. Going to take some shots while we do so, but it does mean we're a little safer, and we do at least distract some men with this cavalry charge. And the enemy's finally rousing over here. Do have one more unit coming in for some more, but they're battered, more so than us. Bracing they were for a cavalry charge here. It looks like we're under fire over here. That is some attention we should have spent over there. Gonna take too many losses on that cavalry unit. They're down to 55 men. Certainly less than ideal. Might just want to tighten up over here as well. Yeah, you can see our cavalry running now. Not too much of a bother. Certainly not ideal. We've broken this unit. Let's pull into some safety then with this unit of cavalry. Don't need them anymore. Please double time. Please double time. That's why they die. Let's make our cannon fire a little more succinct onto this unit, I think. Barrage, please. What are we doing over here? We need to push a little harder, I think. We're getting very low on ammunition, actually, with this unit, so we'll leave that one out. Cavalry can come up. You can retreat out, please. How we're doing over here. Winning slightly with the Royal Fusiliers against standard musketmen. Just on the reload. I wouldn't say that's exactly a hill advantage for them. We do have the enemy surrounded very, very well. Excellent. Yeah, the enemy's manoeuvring in a square. It's just not ideal for them whatsoever. A bit concerned about the lack of experience chevrons we're gaining though. In fact, the enemy's gaining more. Would have liked to have gained some good experience here. But not a problem. Because we'll need it in later fights. I can imagine that the enemy will have some excellent recruitment capacity. But that will pretty much be this battle. And there we go, decisive victory is ours. Losing 122 men, not ideal, but I think we could certainly get away with it considering the enemy deployed 4,600 men. They do have 700 remaining. Let's see how that translates onto the strategic map. Yeah, getting away with about half a battered stack there. Yeah, it's going to be very good replenishment for them, actually. It's going to take a couple of turns for them to get back up to full strength. We do have this raiding unit to worry about. Perhaps they'll merge. That's not the biggest problem. Looking at our total losses, we can certainly stand up to that again. A lot of the losses were in our cavalry, as expected there. But unfortunately, guys, that is all we have time for today, I'm afraid. Just one massive battle to start our colossal war that we're going to look at. But we did think about looking at how that's affected our income. And we did lose about 3,000 or 4,000 income to that. I wonder if going to war with Austria will... Well, it's certainly going to impact it, but how badly will that impact it? We'll find out next time. So I shall see you then. Thank you very much for watching. Please do leave any feedback in the comments. It's always very useful indeed to read through that. So, may all of your nights and days be auspicious. Goodbye.